Welcome
to Leadcast. Let's go.
Intriguing.
Without delay.
Hello and welcome to episode 344 of the Leadcast podcast. I'm your host, Nick Thinking Cooper. Joining me this week is one Aiden Frost Rockards.
Hi, I'm here, and
me, because Colton's not here. He's MIA. We're not sure where he's at. Hopefully he's not dead, I suppose. But the show must go on, right? Isn't that what the saying is?
all I know is today I was on today. I saw him log in, lock in Malphite and solo queue, lose his game, and then log off. So I'm not sure.
Okay, wait. He's only played one game today?
Yeah, he logged on, lost, and got off.
I don't know why that's so funny to me. It's just a Colton thing. Do you think he built Trinity Force before we look? You think he built Trinity Force in that game?
Oh, I already know. I already know. But
okay.
What do you think?
I think yeah.
No, he built full tank.
No.
I was
okay.
talking to him about
real.
the powers of the rock last week. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
I was a big rock main, dude. He tried it. He's won 1 out of 3 games of it. So.
Oh, that's not good.
The game he won.
Wait.
Was when he went Majaya.
Wait, I'm looking at his last game. He had the most damage on his entire. Wait, he had the second most damage on his team after the Twitch.
Oh, really? Fuck.
I'm gonna say that was not his fault.
Yeah, that's a yikes.
Oof. But hey, this week we're gonna be talking about the new Odyssey game mode and the skins that accompanied it. Patch 8.18 is out. Let's talk about. Oh boy, we have 2 champions up there. And I think we've talked about both of them for Metakaiser.
Have we? I don't know. Who's meta right now? Who's meta right now then?
We can talk about Malphite if you want.
I have another good
something
one.
Else.
So you can decide between Malphite or, hear me out, Rammus. I think Rammus is fucking so strong right now, dude.
Okay, sure. We'll talk about Rammus then. You can convince me.
I will.
Rammus is a shit character. Change my mind. How about that? Round table. Cheese pick. Aiden has prepared something very spicy that isn't even on the Google Doc, so I don't know what it is.
I tweeted about it. Don't you worry.
Ooh, a little bit of LCS, just a little cleanup. And then we have 3 emails, I believe, so should be in for a doozy of a show. Aiden, how was your week, though?
I played a lot of. Did I play a lot of ranked? I don't even remember if I played a lot.
You played a lot of flex.
I played a lot. Did I play a lot of flex? I think I did.
You played a lot of flex.
I played a lot of flex, and I played a lot of the new game mode. This is one of my favorite. I love these game modes. I love the game modes that aren't like a Summoner's Rift game. Like my favorite ones have been. I didn't really like. What was the last one that was like this? The PvE one. Star Guardian.
Was it Star Guardian? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that one as much as this one, Odyssey. But I loved what was the one that put you in the arena with the different the project one. You don't that one? That's probably my favorite game mode in the game.
Was that PvE though? That was kind of PvP, right?
It was PvP, but like
with where you had to pick an AD carry.
Yeah, you had to pick an AD carry, and you had to hit the things on the thing to become like overcharge. There we go.
Yeah.
That's my fucking favorite game mode that they've ever made. But this one's
really
really fucking cool, dude. My roundtable question is actually based off of it, so we'll get to there eventually. But it's really cool how like all the characters are super augmented and stuff. It feels like they really thought it out. Like every single character fills their own role. They're all for the most part viable. Compared to like I think in Star Grinding, the main problem was like you had characters like Ari, who mainly only has single target damage, where you're trying to kill mobs of shit, so she didn't feel like she deserved to be in there. Whereas like every single one of these characters just feels super good, honestly.
I do kind of feel like Jinx is, of the characters that are there, Jinx is the worst.
You have to build her very specifically. There's 2 builds for her. One being you go the trap build where you get all the trap enhancements, so like it puts a cone of 9 of them around you, and they stun for like twice as long, and they increase damage dealt to it by like 50%. So that's kind of like the one build is you just kind of CC everything around you so your team's safe so you don't get overwhelmed.
Okay.
And the other build, which I think is pretty cool, it's like a full lethality burn build, whereas you get all the ult upgrades.
I saw this one.
Yeah, you can shoot 3 ults and they all leave Corki missiles. And you can also get other upgrades which increase like the burn damage on it. So pretty well all you're doing is just like shooting out big missiles every like 9 seconds that nuke everything on the map in like lines.
Mm-hmm. You kind of play her like a constant Corki package.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's just constantly wave clearing. I definitely think she's the worst because there's other characters who can do like Ziggs is just a better version of that, but she's viable if you play her those two ways. I think she's the hardest to make work though. Whereas like you have characters like Yasuo who can be played like 5 different ways, and he's good every single one.
Yeah,
you can play
dude,
fucking AP support.
I've seen some of the Yasuo ones that are just like you ult and then the cooldown of your ult is reduced based on the number of targets you hit or something like that. So then you just get in this chain of like, oh, my ult's on a 3-second cooldown every single time I ult.
Yeah.
It's nuts, yeah. And then they all produce like 2 tornadoes. It's like crazy.
And you have one for every tornado you produce. It reduces your ult cooldown by 1 second. So if you hit a mob with them,
and then they come back to you.
Dude, it's so much fucking fun, dude.
And it looks so good. It looks so good. Plus, the skin looks like Jetstream Sam from Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Yeah. Actually,
real quick. Tangent. We played. Colt and I played a game with the Mighty Throb, who said that game was shit. What are your thoughts on the game?
Oh no,
and Jetstream Sam is a character.
It's one of the best Metal Gear games. I think it's
Jetstream Sam is a character. Cool or not?
Less cool than you think he is, but he's cool.
Okay. I think he's literally the coolest because in a world filled with like fucking everything's just a cyborg, he's just a regular guy.
Yeah.
He's just a regular guy. He's too strong.
And that game looked like shit now that I'm looking at pictures of it.
Oh,
when did
yeah,
that game
it does
come out?
not hold up super well. It was like 2008, I think.
Oh, really?
I feel like it's been a really long time. Probably more recently than that.
2013.
That was kind of okay. I doubled the length, doubled the length. What other good-looking games came out in 2013?
I'm sure there's tons. When did Crisis come out? The original Crisis, fucking 2008 or something.
Crisis
doesn't count.
Games that we could run on our computers today.
Crisis 3 fucking came out in 2013, dude. Oh my god.
Games we can run on our PCs today, dude. How about that?
I literally can't run Crisis 3 still.
And how, like, you have a really good rig, right?
Yeah.
Gross.
Fuck, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say,
sorry.
No,
we were talking about Yasuo playstyles.
Oh yeah, like going the full AP build on him, where you
Is that where you shoot your wind wall?
No, you have there's a build where you can use your E on your teammates, and it shields them for like 600. And there's also like upgrades where your E applies on hit effects. So you build them like full AP, and you just dash through everything really fast. It's really good too.
What the hell?
And it's funny because Ziggs is the best healer in that mode because you can take augments where like all your mines heal, and like you can have your mines make more mines. It's so good, dude. It's so much fucking fun.
My favorite combo I think I've seen so far is the Crescendo Cascade.
Yeah.
Or the Concerto Cascade, where you ult in 8 like around you, and then they just bounce every time they hit. Super cool.
That's what makes Sona good in that mode. You can also play her cheesy though. There's the one that changes all your stats to AD. So like you can have 800 AD like super easy on her, and she's actually like not a bad like AD character.
She's a better AD carry than Jinx.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's like one of the
cool.
most like well thought out modes that they've had. So it feels and I can't believe they kept it off the PvE. Like it just they released it on live as like a surprise. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, I've heard that there's been a lot of bugs as a result, but I haven't experienced any so far.
The day one, all the augments weren't unlocking for like a couple games after you finished, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, I've had no problems. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
So that's kind of my way. Oh, I guess like the only other thing is that I back to D2 and Flex.
Ooh.
It's kind of a hint at what the cheese pick is, but the game that I won in Flex, to win my series, we had a support main playing top, so they played top Morgana, and they were awful. We had a Malzahar one trick pick up his 30% win rate Victor and play it mid. We had a jungle Leona, and then Trevor and I played bot, and we won that game. That was my 1-in-1 game for my series. So
of course you won that game, because why wouldn't you?
It's those are the games you win. I swear to God. Like maybe it's like what's the survivor bias?
No, it's confirmation bias.
Confirmation bias.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's confirmation bias, but man, it feels like those are all the games that I win. I never lose games where just someone like trolls or like play like double mid or stupid shit like that.
Yep, it's like those games, and then if we're real toxic to each other in Champ Select, easy win.
If 7 people die level 1 in the level 1 invade,
You win.
Yeah.
The more people, as the number of deaths go up pre 3 minutes, your chances of victory go up too.
So dumb, dude. But yeah, that was my week. I had a good time. What about you?
Ooh, this week was my final week of my first class of the semester, so that was the primary focus. I had a pretty big project due. Ended up doing pretty well on that. Had a final yesterday as of recording, so was focused on those two things. I didn't play a ton of League. I played ARAMs occasionally and Nexus Splits when that was still around. I hope that mode comes back.
It'll be back after this is over. After the event's over. Yeah.
I didn't realize how much I enjoyed it until it was gone.
You didn't? You played fucking 100 games of it. What do you mean?
It was, yeah, but it was I'll just play some League. I'll just play Nexus Splits. It's fast, But it's actually so fun. Holy shit. But yeah, I guess that's most of my week. I played a little bit of WoW.
Ooh.
A tiny smidgen of Overwatch. But that's it. So hopefully this upcoming weekend will be filled with more games. I'm hoping to stream a little bit. I wanna practice some Renekton top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty good at Renekton. He's pretty strong right now, and I need to practice some top laners. Ooh. I guess we'll talk about this in the patch notes, but I'm very excited for a champion that I play that got buffed for no reason. So
he's OP already, and they buffed him
for no reason. I wouldn't say he's OP. He was playable.
He has a 30% play rate for out of 80 carries, so.
Yeah, that's what happens when he's playing.
And a 53% win rate while having a 30% play rate. That's kind of gross. But they buffed him.
No,
so.
Stop saying numbers. Stop saying numbers that disagree with my argument. Let's talk about the patch, by the way. So patch 8.18 came out a couple days ago, and I think we've both had enough experience to give some in-depth thought to some of these, at least. But first up is Aatrox.
Unlike Riot.
Aatrox's E passive healing is increased at later ranks, and his ultimate bonus attack damage is increased at later ranks.
Yeah, Aatrox is fine,
but
they buffed him, and I think every single person who plays the game at a decent level doesn't know why they buffed him. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's cool to watch a competitive. I feel like a lot of this is the Worlds patch, by the way. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of.
I thought 8.19 was, but it was going to be tiny.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, but still, I feel like a lot of these changes are, hey, we need some cool fucking characters at Worlds, or else we're gonna lose.
Which is a shame because I actually feel like competitive right now is real interesting to watch.
It's the best it's been in a long time, I think.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
yeah.
Next up,
Akali, her R base damage is decreased, which I don't think. I mean, I think you feel it's probably decent at rank 1, but I feel like it doesn't really change anything at rank 2 and rank 3 of it. Honestly, taking 20 damage off at rank 1 is pretty big, right? Because you proc it twice. Or is that both casts combined? It says both casts.
Yeah, both casts. So it's down. It's down a little bit.
That's not much at all, though. I feel like it just doesn't change what she does, right? It doesn't stop her from one hitting an 80 carry.
Yeah, I feel like the problem isn't the base damage with that. With that character, it's the execute, right? Because she just kills you at 40% HP. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh well. Braum, his base health is decreased.
I don't think it changes anything. Once again,
not at all.
I feel like that's not where his power lies, but oh well. Kaisa, passive damage decreased at later levels. Once again, it seems like a change that does almost nothing, Nick. So you don't feel it until, say, it's a 2.5% decrease at rank 9, right? So still probably don't feel it there. Maybe around rank 16, 17, 18 you feel it, right? Against tanky targets. So in 35 plus minute games you feel it against tanks.
Yeah.
But
I
don't know, man. I feel like for the best AD carry in the game right now, that might not be enough of a nerf.
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, maybe increase the potency of her passive. Put a cooldown on it. Easy, done.
Yeah.
Cap it out versus monsters.
No, I agree.
Oh.
That'd be a good way of doing it, honestly.
Yeah, but hey, what do I know? Kai'Sa's exciting to watch, so we can't nerf her.
She's pretty fucking fun to watch, though.
Yeah, she is, but I'd like to watch other characters, like this next one, Lucian. Q damage ratio increased at later ranks. PogChamp.
So, like, in solo queue, that character is already good, right? Is the problem is he wasn't good enough in competitive, though, right? I think that has to be why they're buffing him, right? Like,
For sure.
Before this buff, as I mentioned, he had a 53% win rate with a 30% play rate for AD carry. Right?
That's kind of nuts. Mm-hmm.
Meaning, he's in 1 in 3 games and he wins 53% of them. Like, those are really good numbers.
I'm looking at OPGG right now, and it shows that his win rate's just below 52%, and he has the 3rd highest pick rate for AD carries after Ezreal and Kai'Sa.
I also it's funny because his win rate goes down after a buff, but that's because more people play him, right?
Yeah.
So that's, yeah. I don't know, man. It just seems like a weird change, but I personally would love to see Lucian be the best AD carry at Worlds. Like, that's fine by me.
Oh, for sure. Watching super high level Lucian is so fun.
No, I agree. And it's weird because, like, you think of, like, a character like Vayne being a playmaker. I would never want to see Vayne be the best AD carry at Worlds because, like,
oh no,
she just protect the Vayne comps and then she shreds people, right? Like, Lucian's fucking insane because, like, he has no, like, gimmicks. I guess he's like just raw damage.
Yep, and it spikes hella early, so you get lots of, like, real early fighting.
Yeah, I love it, dude. So good. Another character you want to play, Renekton. His empowered E damage is increased. His empowered E armor reduction is increased at earlier ranks. So the damage doesn't matter, right? Like, they added fucking
the
10
damage.
damage.
Is whatever.
But, like, adding, like, the level 1, like, we put 1 point into E. You don't max. Well, you can't. I usually max it second. I'm not sure what you do.
You're supposed to max it second, but I feel like maxing W might be better now.
Yeah, like, it jumping from 15 to 25%, like, armor reduction at, like, level 1. That's huge. That's, like, putting 3 ranks into it originally. So that's really big. That might be enough, honestly.
Yeah, and then W, the base damage, I believe, increases, so you're just getting, like, more overall damage. Your wave clear, like, slightly hurts, I suppose, but I think that's a good trade-off for a character who can clear waves instantly with Q Tiamat.
No, yeah, I think it's a big buff, though. I think it's, like, a nice change to him. It's great.
Yeah, I actually think this is, like, kind of worrisome.
Yeah.
Giving a character 10% armor reduction at, like, a level... 10% more armor reduction at level 1 is kind of scary. I guess level 1 of an ability.
I do like that he could be picked into tanks, though, right? Like, in theory, you would never pick... Renekton feels like shit into tanks. You're like, man, he's a bruiser and we're against tanks. But if you can shred a 35% of a tank's armor... like,
you actually have a chance of, like getting him before the trade ends.
That'd be really cool, though, if he was a counter to tanks at Worlds. Like, that'd be really cool.
I feel like he's such an interesting character. He, like, shits on squishies, pretty decent into tanks, like, decent overall. Like, there are better characters. But, like, gets shit on by other bruisers.
Yeah.
Like, certainly fills a specific niche.
Well, he's, like, definitely has some parts of his kit that are, like, relics of the past, right? Like, his ult locks him down when he ults. Like, just, like, basic shit like that, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, his ulti damage is, like, nothing.
Yeah, you gotta go Blizzard Wizard if you're gonna do damage with that.
Rise, empowered W root duration decreased across the board down to half a second. That's pretty big, actually.
I think it's actually, like, almost too big of nerf. Like, I mean, I don't really care about Rise in competitive that much. I feel like he takes too long to scale to be interesting, but I don't think he's going to be played as much. Like, that's a huge hit to competitive. It's less of a hit to solo queue, though, I think.
Yeah, it certainly, like, ruins his early, like, potential for kills, at least.
Yeah.
I think it's just such a boring character to watch.
Yeah, at least, like, I'm reading their note on it. It sounds like they actually do understand, though. Like, this change was to completely, like, hit pro versus solo queue. They said We're targeting Ryze's EQ route for a power down, as pros are readily able to coordinate successful ganks and catches around it. So like, yeah, it's completely based around pro play. So
I think that's a good. It's like compared to some of the things they could have done, I think it's a good change.
yeah.
Overall, nerfing an ability's CC by 25% is pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Then we have Sejuani, which I don't think she needs nerfs, but she's picked in competitive, so she has to be nerfed. E base damage decreased, R storm slow duration decreased. Just more Sej nerfs.
Yeah.
She's bad in
Trundle.
solo queue. Like, I feel bad.
She is real bad in solo queue.
Yeah, like she's really bad. I mean, I don't think the R like slow duration's actually that big of a nerf, but it's just what, like the eighth nerf in a row. Holy shit! It just, I don't know. She's dead.
Yeah, it's just like maybe it's a nerf to melee mid laners, and this is how they kind of want to address it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's her most popular, like her, I guess her best pick comp is like, hey, you got a Talon, you got an Aurelia, like boom, easy. That's easy CC, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems very strange. Trundle, sorry. His E cooldown is increased. The E slow is decreased at early ranks and increased later. This might actually push Trundle to only being a Sejuani counter.
Yeah.
His slow at level 1 is 15%. That's like basically nothing. You still have the terrain creation aspect of it, I suppose, but the slow is definitely the best part of it.
Do you have to start maxing Pillar second?
Competitively, you do max Pillar second, like already.
So
In solo queue, I prefer maxing W second, but
yeah, I've always done W second as well. But like, I feel like in solo queue, you can't pick it for
you
a
can't.
fifth. I mean, I guess it's still like a displacement, right? Like you don't. I'm not like, holy fuck, thank God Trundle slowed them there. I'm like, holy fuck, thank God Trundle knocked them back and then blocked their pathway, right?
Yeah.
The ability still has power. It's just you have to use it, I guess, more refined, I guess.
Yeah, which I guess I certainly think Trundle was like a little too strong, but
I've always felt his strength is just too much in his ult, honestly. But
yeah, for sure. But how do you like change that, I suppose?
Make it not fucking absorb a fucked amount of stats. Like, I feel like he should steal them, but maybe he should. Well, I don't know. I like that he takes theirs. I don't know.
Easy. Honestly, like the stats, I don't think are the problem. It's the health, right? The instant health that you get. It's like, oh, you get 900 HP because you ulted a tank and had your W down. Just like reduce the amount of health you steal initially, increase the amount of health you steal late. Make it scale with like bonus attack damage. Easy clap.
Yeah, that'd be better, honestly. Vayne. Q cooldown decreased at early ranks. People were jerking off this change. I don't think it's that crazy of a change. I don't think you can get away with maxing W.
No, I don't think you can either, because 2-second tumble is still like what you need, right?
You need
ability
2-second
spell.
tumble.
Like it's most of your damage. I guess unless you're going very first item Ginsu's, you could try maxing W, but
it's just so with, I don't know. It just feels weird, man. I feel like you still have to max Q, because if not, you don't come online until level 13, I guess. Because fuck, man, the difference between having a 4-second tumble and a 2-second tumble, like in a high level game, is crazy. I think.
Oh, for sure.
But having the difference between having like what is her W Vayne?
I think it scales up to 14%.
Is it? I thought it was higher than that. Is it actually not? Silver bolts. 4, 6.5, 9, 11, 14. So I guess the difference between 4 and 14% is a pretty big difference, though.
Yeah. But I don't think it's bigger than having the cooldown of your Q, which gives you 40 AD? And is your mobility?
It's a 70% like bonus damage, I think is what it does.
Oh, so it scales. It's not even just a flat.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's what I mean. I feel like if you can find a way to max W and not be harmed by it, then this is a pretty big buff. If not, it's a 2-second buff level 1, right? And then a 1.5 level 2, then a 1, you know what I mean? It scales down.
Scaling
That's the buff,
down, yeah. Yeah, and I guess the only way you could really get away with a W max is if they have like 3 tanks with no backline pressure whatsoever.
Yeah.
But and then it's like it doesn't matter what you max. Victor, his first hex core upgrade cost is decreased by 100 gold, and that's been put into the final hex core.
Yeah, I think we talked about that last
change.
week. Well, I think we talked about it briefly last week, where LS did the math on it, where if you hit perfect CS, it doesn't change when you can back on waves.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Because it gives you an extra ward. It gives you an extra 70 gold, but it doesn't allow you to get the back before that wave. So it only really benefits, I guess, lower levels of play in the fact that you might be able to get it earlier because you're missing minions anyways, right? But at the highest level of play, it doesn't make him better.
Yeah. It is a nice, like, because it's going to be what you rush over like a lost chapter, so it is a nice, you still have 150 gold to play around with, but
yeah, it's just not a huge thing.
I think that character just has too much of his like power budget tied up into his evolved E. Yeah,
that's literally why he's good though, right? I guess and throwing out his evolved W into like clusterfuck team fights, but even of all his evolved abilities have too much power, I think. And then his other ones are just they're unusable, like without the evolve, I think.
For sure.
They made a change where if you are if you're selected as jungle in just regular games, you're now given smite right away. You can change off of it, like obviously to do other shit in like Summoner's Rift, but it at least starts you with smite, so you won't like say you play top 1 game, then you switch to jungle the next game, it will give you smite at least if you forget to change, which is nice.
We did it, dude.
Yeah.
That's happening.
No more Graves games that I have to carry without fucking smite on him jungle.
Yeah. So now it's like the worst that'll happen is it's on the wrong key.
Yeah.
But easy price to be paid. Minimap icon scale on 4K. Lots of bug fixes. You gonna tackle the next one? You've played more Odyssey than I have, so
I've played like 30 games of it, I think. Odyssey. So join the crew and Ziggs as they fight their way through the hordes of aliens and co-op game mode. In the co-op game mode Odyssey Extraction, head to the game mode primer to learn more. It's fun.
Wait,
I mean, what?
Can you explain to me why they say join the crew and Ziggs? Is he not a part of the crew?
I think they like shit on him, like.
Oh,
they like
okay.
Make fun of him. Fucking, he's like an idiot. You know what I mean? He's like the
okay.
goofball, I guess, character.
He's the comic relief.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess like we kind of touched on like what it is. It's pretty well like you go through 5 different levels, fighting waves of enemies. You play as Yasuo, Sona, Jinx, Ziggs, or Malphite, and as you play, the more you play, you get augments, which augment your abilities. For example, Sona's might be that her ult bounces off stuff. Jinx might have one where her ult leaves a fire trail, or traps. She lays 9 traps instead of just 3. Ziggs are all like related to how many bombs he drops in. Whenever he drops a bomb and it bounces, it will drop another bomb or something.
I like it. I like his ultimate augment where once you cast it, you can just keep casting it for like 10 seconds.
You can just spam click it as fast as you can. It's really, really good too. Because then you can augment where your ult, every single time you ult, it shoots out like 4 bouncing bombs like in each direction.
Ooh. That's
like,
cool.
It's just fun like messing around with those. Like you can have like a ton of fun. I think the only thing is it takes too long to unlock all those augments. Like I find myself just playing like lower levels of the game mode to like try to get augment because you get them randomly too.
Sorry. Do you get the augment at the end of a round like more frequently at higher levels?
No, I think like you average about 3 a game through every single level.
Oh, okay.
I got 3 in when I beat the final difficulty today. So.
Ooh, you have beaten Onslaught.
Yeah,
nice.
we played double Malphite, triple Yasuo.
Okay.
I did the best, dude. I'm running this fucking crazy Yasuo build. It's so good. It's full lethality because you don't need crit on him. It's so good.
All right.
Yeah, so I'd recommend doing that. It's a lot of fun. You can unlock a lot of cool things. A lot of the challenges are really hard, but they give good rewards, like the harder ones. Like, so you have up to 5 augments that you can use. You get a Ziggs champion shard for only using 4. For only using 3, you get a ward skin, and for only using 2, you get a gemstone. Not a gemstone, but like
shit.
It's in the loot, your hex tech loot thing. It's like the special thing that you only get a 5% drop rate of, where you can choose one of the grab bag ones, like the versus grab bag, where it gives you all of the faction skin shards, or the birdie one, which I think is the best one, where it just gives you all of a skin skin shards. So if you can get that, man, you get like 8 skin shards. So I want to grind that out.
Damn, yeah, that sounds fun.
Cool. And then all the skins came out: Odyssey, Kayn, Yasuo, Jinx, Sona, Malphite, and Ziggs.
The Kayn one's the best, right?
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, I actually purchased it too.
It's really cool. I think the Ziggs one is average. I think the Jinx one is average. The Sona one, the chromas make the Sona one look good, but by itself it looks bad. And the Yasuo one's cool, I guess.
Yeah, the Sona one seems so like out of place compared to the rest of them.
But like, look at her chromas. Like, look on the picture of it. Like,
yeah,
the
the
chromas look
sick.
good.
Yeah,
It's just it looks like some alien thing, like without it.
yeah.
Oh no, they're all
Cool.
right
So
skins.
that's patch 8.18.
8.18.
Yeah, 8.18. Poggers. So let's move on to the Medikaiser.
Medikaiser.
All right, this is your time. Convince me, Rammus is a good character.
So first of all, what are we even saying, Nick? What does Rammus do? Why don't you tell me what Rammus does first?
Oh shit, that is my job. I apologize. Let me pull him up real quick.
I think he's not bad.
Okay. Well, his passive is Spike Shell. His basic attacks deal bonus magic damage, scaling with his armor. His Q is Power Ball. He accelerates in a ball towards his enemies, dealing damage and slowing targets. His W is Defensive Ball Curl. He goes into a defensive formation, vastly increasing his armor and magic resist, amplifying his passive damage and returning damage to enemies that basic attack him, but he is also slowed during this time. His W is Frenzying Taunt. He taunts an enemy, champion, or monster into a reckless assault against him. Additionally, he gains increased attack speed for a short time, but this bonus is extended by having any of his other spells active. And his ultimate is Tremors. He creates waves of destruction pulsing through the ground, dealing damage to nearby enemies and slowing them. Turrets take double damage from his ultimate. Alright. Those are his abilities, his role. He's a jungler, right?
Yes, he is a good jungler.
He's a pretty good jungler. I'll give it that. Summoner spells, you take Flash Ignite, right? Or I'm sorry, Flash Smite.
Yeah, Flash Smite. There's some people who try to go for the cheesy Ghost Smite, but there's just no real reason. It's just so much better if you can gap close, like flash on someone when you're ball rolling. So.
Yeah. Keystone, Aftershock.
Yes, you go Aftershock every game.
It's got to be his best.
Yeah, for secondary, you can either go Precision or Sorcery. Sorcery, you're picking up the speed ones, being Celerity and Water Walking. But for Precision, you're picking up Triumph and your Alacrity. Because he's actually pretty good with attack speed as a character.
Yeah, I really like him with a little bit of attack speed, especially in the jungle where attack speed's more valuable. So, yeah, let's go with Resolve and Precision. Let's go with that. So we're taking Aftershock, we're taking Bone Plating.
Bone Plating and Bone Plating, Conditioning, and then I think you can like choose between... I like Unflinching, because I think actually Flash Initiating is like really, really solid, but I think the other two... Well, not... what's the first one in that last row?
The first one in the last row is Overgrowth.
Overgrowth's not bad. I just think that like having the utility from Unflinching is pretty solid.
I would go Unflinching too. I think that's a very underrated mastery.
Yeah.
Honestly. And then Precision, what, Triumph Alacrity?
Yep, Triumph Alacrity every game.
Super good. What's next? We've got Build Order, or Skill Order. Max. Ooh, okay, so this is like, I played a little bit around.
You start W every game, no matter what.
You start W. You start
have
W. Yeah, and then you want to take Q level 2, right?
Yep.
I like 2 points in W and then max E. But I see a lot of people maxing E first.
I like putting. So I like. You can put a couple. I would never max E. I might put a couple points into E, but I would either put a couple points into E or just straight up max Q. So like I'd either go WQ, E, QQ, I guess it's R, then Q, then E. So max. In my perfect world, I'd max Q. You need Q. Like Q. I tried playing him a couple days ago without maxing Q. I maxed E because I had to lock down a Fed Yasuo or something. And that's fine, but your Q is just not an ability at that point. Like that, your ability sucks without it being maxed. Like it's actually almost unusable. Like look at the. Do you see the? What does it do?
I didn't realize his. Okay, so the cooldown drops from 16 to 6 seconds.
Yep.
Base, which is disgusting. The damage goes up by 140. The slow doubles from 40 to 80%. I think that's it.
Yeah, like, and obviously the movement speed that you wait. I think you get the movement speed changes as well.
I'm not sure if the movement. I'm not seeing it on OPGG, but it could.
Yes, it changes from.
I didn't.
Changes from 25 to 40%. So.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah. Wait, and it also scales on level as well. I didn't know that actually. Wait, what the? Wait. No, that's wait. Let me read this. But gaining 25 to 40% bonus movement speed per second over the duration up to a maximum of 150 to 235%.
Oh, so that's just how long you're in.
Yeah. So you gain speed up. So, but still, it's the difference between having 150% movement speed or having 240% movement speed, right?
Oh, so the movement speed does scale with level 2.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I think maxing Q is probably the way to go. I didn't realize it. The movement speed scaled too.
But the main thing is like the fact that you're dropping the cooldown by 10 seconds, right?
Yeah, that's nuts.
So, because I tried playing a game where I maxed taunt, because obviously having a 2.25 second taunt is better than a 1.25 second taunt, but I don't think it's worth the trade-off at all. You just don't do stuff unless your team's already fighting, I think.
Yeah, the taunt's long, but you're only adding a second versus the damage, how your best ability. Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, so I'd max Q, then E, then W. Whether or not you feel like you need an extra point in W or an extra point in taunt early levels, it's completely up to you. Like maybe you need to lock someone down more. Maybe you need to just tank up some more stuff. It's kind of up to you, but I would really recommend not avoiding like maxing a Q because it's really important to your kit.
Okay. And then are we maxing E second?
Yes, Q, E, W.
That's a shame because I think his W is one of his best abilities.
Oh, I completely. I mean, he
has real strong abilities.
When you have it maxed, what is it? 90% or no? It's 100%. Yeah,
it's 100%.
You get 100% bonus armor and 50% bonus magic resist when you're in your bulk girl. Like that's insane. But
yeah,
the fact that it starts at 60% on armor is like absolutely fine. Like it's not not that unreal.
Cool. So then build order.
Ooh,
we're starting with Hunter's Talisman.
Yes, Hunter's Talisman every game. I think refillable is better, but 3 pots is also fine. I don't think you take enough damage to need 3 pots in the jungle. That's my main reason.
I think refillable is good.
For jungle item, a lot of people go Blue Smite Cinderhulk. I think Red Smite is OP as fuck on him. Like I would never not
people
go
Blue Smite.
I
think Red Smite's Red Smite's way better.
Red Smite is insane on him.
Red Smite actually it's like exactly what Remus wants. Like it reduces the damage he takes. Yeah, it increases his trading potential. Like because he doesn't have a ton of damage in his kit unless they're attacking you. So then you just add true damage on every single not every single auto, but reapply it every single auto.
The reason why I started playing Rammus, Nick, is because I had a Fed 80 carry on my team and they had a Rammus. And they were really fed on 80 carry. But what Rammus would do is just powerball his last in there, flash on them, red smite them with his Thornmail and ball, defensive ball curl, and he'd kill them in 3 hits.
Yeah, I think red smite Cinderhulk easy.
It's actually unreal.
I didn't realize people didn't build that on.
It's more popular. Yeah, it's way more popular.
Yeah. That's wrong.
It's very wrong. I agree.
Boots. I think your boots you can build pretty much whatever boots you want on Rammus.
I love having Mobies early on him, but when you're in the fight, you don't do much. That being said, you're already locking someone down, so you don't need to move around much, right?
Yeah.
So if fights are going to last a while, then obviously Tabby's Merc Treads probably are fine. But I think Mobies are just so good early.
Mm-hmm. Gives you a lot of really early like gank pressure as well.
Yeah, you can hit them from like anywhere. Like you can gank mid pretty easily, even though you're a character without a gap closer, like a dash or something. So
yeah, regardless of any wards that they have placed.
Yeah, he's like Hecarim kind of in that sense.
Yeah, for sure. So we have 2 items so far, right?
Yes. So here's where it gets fun.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bramble Vest.
Mm-hmm.
Bramble Vest, leave it, go into Righteous Glory.
Ooh, okay, I like it.
So I like that. You can finish Thornmail at any point. I just think Righteous Glory it's one of the best items. I was talking to you this a couple days ago when we were playing in that tournament last week, Nick. But items with actives, they give you gold efficiency, right? If you're a low econ player or you're behind, build active items. One of the best things you can do on a tank, like say a top lane tank, because most top lane tanks you're going to lose farm early, right? You're just down because you're going to get out harassed, whatever. If you're really far behind on a top lane tank, you build what's the item called? Gargoyle Stoneplate, because it gives you like 3 times the gold efficiency when you use it. So in those fights where you're down 1,000 gold on them, you have like 2,000 more gold than them efficiency wise when you use that
during
active.
the active.
Yes.
Yeah, and as a tank, like all you need to do, or I guess as an impact position, all you need to do is be efficient during a certain time period.
Exactly.
Like you don't need the constant damage of an AD carry.
It's like the comparison of having like, well, I have a Sunfire, which I guess gives me some health and some like AoE and a little bit of armor, or I have triple or double the amount of health and like resist that I would normally have for 30 seconds in a fight, right?
Yeah.
That's all that matters, right? So Righteous Glory is kind of in a similar sense where you get this active, you get this shockwave, you get this movement speed slow for the time that you need it, which is when you engage, right? It's just a gold efficient item for him.
Yep. And it serves the purpose of his entire character. Go fast and go fast and disrupt them.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say eat ass, but yeah.
So at some point
probably dines on some ass.
Yeah, really, honestly. For your MR item, I'd pick up Adaptive Helm at some point. At this point, you're kind of just more built. You're a tank. We always get into this discussion where late game as a tank, you're building against the enemy rather than building for yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So after you get your core of Red Smite Cinder Hulk, your boots, your Bramble Vest, which you're turning into Thornmail, and your Righteous Glory, your last 2 items are kind of more adaptive based on the enemy team. Meaning Adaptive Helm could be your AP item. You could throw in a Randuin's Omen if you need more armor.
Like a Warmog.
Warmogs obviously is a solid tank item.
Mm-hmm.
It's more dependent. Gargoyles honestly is still not that bad. Yeah, he just kind of like you just build based on like the enemy at that point.
Yep. So super interesting.
Even Abyssal Mask isn't a bad item on him at all.
Yeah, he does. Like that's one of the things that I think people don't realize is that most of the tanks do like primarily magic damage, and Rammus is one of the like biggest offenders of that. He has auto attack damage, but even a portion of that is magic because of his passive.
Not only that, but like you're also like a tank, so like having utility for your damage dealer is also important, right? Like you're just lowering their MR. Like even if you don't do a ton of magic damage, like your casters do, and they don't want to build Abyssal Mask. So
exactly, yeah. And I mean, you're in there. You don't want them to be in the middle of the fight.
Because the range on that's actually pretty tiny. I'm pretty sure it's like 300 or something.
It is very small, yeah. I was looking the other day. It's smaller than I thought it was, to be honest.
Because they nerfed it a couple times, I believe.
Cause you just build it mid. Yeah. Okay, so then strengths and weaknesses.
So
what would you suggest?
He has a safe jungle. He doesn't like he's never low on health in the jungle. He's very, very safe. He has a slower clear on first clear, then it speeds up like the more damage you can reflect to the minions and stuff. I guess you have less scuttle priority than most junglers, but overall it's like safe. You're not going to get invaded and killed too often. Your ganks are solid. You don't have much damage on ganks, but it doesn't matter if you lock someone down for 1.25 seconds or 1.5 seconds or however long. Your teammate probably has enough damage to kill them. It's just the problem of getting on them. If you can ball roll into them, if you can find a path, then you're probably gonna get a pretty successful gank. I also would argue one of his strengths is the fact that he can just one hit 80 carries. Like,
yeah, he's oh god.
And I mean at any point in the game, like it depends on their peel, right? If they don't like build like a ton of peel for their characters when you pick Rammus, then you probably win the game. Because as soon as you get on that 80 carry, they can't do anything other than auto you, and you have your ult going, you have your knock up, you have your ball roll, you have your taunt, you have your red smite. I think you kill them before they do like 1/10 of your HP.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage, no real way to mitigate it, because the way to mitigate it is to kill him with auto attacks, but that's how you're killing yourself.
Like, there's nothing they can do. It's completely based on their team. Like, they need, like, Gragas, Alistar, like, a ton of peel.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but AD comps are very, very popular right now, like, full AD comps.
Yes.
And if you ever see them pick Yasuo mid, or, like, Yasuo mid, Camille jungle, any AD
Aurelia.
top, like, pick Rammus, man. You're gonna have a great time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's super good into champions with a lot of mobility, because he can just like, oh, Yasuo's dashing around Rammus just taunted him, so now he's not moving. Like, super good in that regard.
Yeah.
Let's talk about his weaknesses, because I feel like the biggest one is he kind of needs to be ahead to do stuff.
Yeah, like you're not gonna be. You don't make plays very often when you're behind on him, right? You can't. I mean, you can flash into a fight and one hit their 80 carry, but if you're behind, that's your entire contribution is you maybe kill their 80 carry, and then you're dead, and they're probably gonna wipe your team because your team's behind, right? You never trade 2-for-1 on Rammus, right?
Yeah, not when you're behind.
Yeah. What else do you think are weaknesses? I guess, honestly, this has been a weakness I've mentioned in the past. He's one of the few junglers in the game right now that doesn't have a dash, which innately makes him weaker for, like, Barons, Dragons, even just invading / being invaded. Yeah. In a game where, like, mobility creep's so important, like, he's a little bit of a relic of the past.
He doesn't deal with aggressive, like, invading junglers very well, and those are kind of popular right now with Graves and Kindred kind of leading the charge. And then I think probably the biggest weakness to his entire kit is his Q is a channel. So it can be interrupted, and if it's interrupted from far enough away, you kind of just, like, don't do anything. Most of the time you can kind of fiddlesticks it, where, you know, you play around with vision and different angles, and you can get to where you want to be without an issue. But if they have, you know, a flay, I think is one of the easier CCs to interrupt it. You can't really do anything after that. You're kind of just sitting there until it's back up.
No, I agree.
Anything you don't think we've covered for weaknesses, at least?
I guess he just gets, like, hard countered by a couple. Like, first of all, he's, like, a slower paced jungler in the fact that characters like Graves are gonna, even though you, like, fuck Graves up in a fight, he's just gonna out jungle you, right? He's gonna take more camps than you. He's gonna put more pressure than you. He can gank more lanes. He's slow in that respect. I would pick him mainly as a counter. I would never pick him into full AP. Like, he's just bad into full AP.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that your W gives you 100% armor, whereas only 50% magic resist, should tell you that he's better against armor characters or AD characters. So he's kind of like pigeonholed in that regard. You shouldn't first pick him, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh no! Overall, I think he's solid though. I feel like he's undervalued. Let me see his win rate actually.
I do think he's a pretty strong character. He definitely fills a role that doesn't really exist at the moment. I think tank junglers are pretty bad, but
what do you think his win rate is on this patch?
On this patch, it's probably pretty high. So I'm gonna say like 52.
52.6. He's number 3 for junglers.
Okay. Wow.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah, I feel like it's mainly because like so many AD characters are being played right now, but
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
would recommend. I feel like he's not hard to play either. Is the main thing.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of Remus is just knowing routes and where to be at specific times, like timers on camp, so you do them, as efficiently as you can, that sort of thing, which kind of just translates from other junglers.
Yeah.
Cool. Any champion specific things? I think we mentioned it during the ability preview portion. But your E does grant you increased attack speed, so using it on jungle creeps isn't the worst thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the duration of the attack speed bonus is extended for the duration of your Q or your W. I'm not sure if it works with your ultimate. It probably does.
Yeah. I'm not actually sure exactly, but.
Mm-hmm. But he's pretty straightforward, all things, considered.
The only thing I would recommend, I've done this a couple times, it's such a dumb thing, but your W cancels your Q and your Q cancels your W. So even though you have an ability up, sometimes you don't want to click it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So just be smart about it. It's like an obvious little thing, but I've done it. You see it. Sometimes you just see that ability up and you just want to. It's like the thing where you see your teammates and they're dead, or you're dead, and then you still flash or you still heal because there's just an ability up that you can use.
Yep.
Yeah, it's similar to that.
It's there.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Best skin. He's got quite a bit of skins. I didn't realize.
He has good skins too. Like some of them are pretty basic, but I like them. I was using a Guardian of the Sands on him. I love the little wings that spread out of you when you roll.
Mm-hmm. I think Guardian's his best skin because of those wings.
Well, like even like Full Metal for Eliord, even the Molten skin where it leaves behind the fire shield is pretty cool.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I love how Chrome looks in game. It just doesn't have any cool effects or anything, but he's cool. Would recommend. Play the turtle.
Okay. Yeah, play Rammus.
And
Round
also,
table.
there's also no
one
trick streamers for him.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mentioned. I was looking at the most played. Number 3 is Helicopter, who I believe plays some support, and then number 5 says Greek God X.
Yeah,
he doesn't play on the NA, I think so. Real fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, round table.
Roundtable. Last week's question was, if LoL had friendly fire, who would be the most dangerous champ to have on your team? Matt from Facebook said, Yasuo, so we can truly 1v9, or Teemo because Teemo players are the kind of people that would probably blind their own teammates if they could. Joel said, another champ would be Vigar. His E cage would essentially protect enemies from being collapsed on by allies, and his W would just kill everyone. I love the idea that his E goes from being like a cage for the enemies, like in regular game, to something where your teammates literally just can't get to the enemies. It's really creative.
Protect the enemies, yeah.
Yeah. Joseph said, Brand, his ult would really fuck up a team fight. Yeah, Brand would be a disaster. Yeah. And then we got a Facebook message from Matthew, and he said, for the roundtable question, Cho'Gath would be the most dangerous with friendly fire. The Q AoE knockup just to stop your teammates while chasing low enemies. The W to silence everyone and make everyone just stand around in auto. The E, when activated, to slow everyone and do percentage max health to your ADC. I know you guys said you wouldn't target allies, but you could, if you accidentally feasted your team, fuck it, a stack is a stack. Keep up the good work, boys. Thanks, Matthew.
True. You could deny them and get the stack.
Yeah, it'd be sick. And then from our roundtable on our Discord that I posted very, very late, we only have a couple answers here. The Mighty Throb said, Yasuo, he tornadoes a 9-man and aces both teams because he's just going to run it down after he gets flamed to oblivion. Pards Bay said, would Karthus ult target allies? I would say Caitlyn. I would love to troll my teammates by just blocking their ult. That'd be pretty good, stepping in front of it at the end. Yeah, and then Dusk said, I think Lux is sneaky OP at trolling since you just bind her allies instead of the enemies. I agree.
Ooh.
So this week's roundtable. Sorry, God.
Then our Luxes would actually have to hit snares.
Yeah, really. I've never seen that happen. This week's roundtable question is, with the new game mode giving special upgraded abilities to Yasuo, Ziggs, Jinx, Sona, and Malphite, how would you augment an ability of a champion of your choosing?
So I like I like the Sona like in an AoE, right? The ulti.
Yeah.
But what about Lucian? He's just gunning people down from all directions. None are safe.
Yeah. I like that actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one for like I guess 3 of the abilities for Tom Kench. Let me pull up I'll think of like names for them as I go for it too. So first we have his Q, which is Tongue Lash. So we have it Tongue's Lash, and he shoots out 3 Qs because he has 3 tongues now.
Okay.
I didn't do one for his W. I'm sure there's something I could have thought of. I'll maybe come back to it. But his E is Thick Skin. Now it's Thicker Skin. When you pop your shield, it's just like a Thornmail-esque effect that like.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then his alt, which is Abyssal Voyage. I didn't think of a name for this one, but I want it to like make it so every single person on your team can go within his mouth.
Oh yeah.
That'd be really cool, I think.
Just extra large belly.
Yeah, extra large belly. I can't think of one for Devour though, really. But I guess like you could do basic shit
tough.
like being able to eat like bigger stuff. It's hard though, I guess.
Yeah, that one's tough.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to have like a bunch of tongues. That would be great for that character. But you can hit us up on our Facebook page at Leaguecast. Send us an email, mail leaguecastpodcast.com. Come to our Discord, post in the roundtable question where I'll actually post the question this week. It'll be a lot of fun. I'll probably read it on the show next week.
Ooh, what about a crazy Jarvan one where people in his ult actually have to stay in his ultimate?
Just bigger walls.
No, it's the same thing. You just can't leave.
But I like the idea that just like on the screen, like the walls are bigger, so you can't really see.
Taller, yeah.
No one can get out, yeah.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. So cheese pick.
Oh,
What
yeah.
do you have in store for us?
Can you guess what it was based on my like week discussion?
It's Jungle Leona.
It's Jungle Leona. Yeah. So I played a game of it. It's not as good as I thought, but it's really good like early, like really good early. Like her clear is solid. Like she takes very little damage in her clear because she's just a tanky character, and her like 1v1s and ganks are fucking insane. So I feel like she's OP up until like what you do on her. Obviously, you go you start whatever buff. You just go buff scuttle gank
Scuttle, fight.
or even just red gank is fine. Like you can play her like kind of like Twitch, how Twitch just red buffs and ganks. But you definitely need red to gank, I would argue. But level 2 is ideal. Level 1 is fine. Level 3, you're probably farming for too long, but oh well. The idea is you just want to gank. So the build on her, I guess, is the only thing you really care about is your only items that are important are boots of mobility and red smite blood razor.
Ooh, Red Smite Blood Razor.
You do fucking hella damage in trades, dude. Auto Q is actually fucked. You can 1v1 AD carries for days, and then you just go full tank. Like I went Sunfire, and I was building into Warmogs as my next item. But I feel like she starts to fall off when you start building into your tank items. But man, for those like 20 minutes of like mobility boots, red smite, blood razor, you can just duel anyone. I first blooded a Gragas in the game I played. I just fought him in the jungle and just killed his ass.
Nice.
And then obviously your ganks are very, very strong. Like if you get on someone, auto like does 1 billion damage and stuns them, and you have red buff slow, so they're not going away. I actually think it's not bad. I just think that if the game goes past 30 minutes, you probably lose because she's a support jungle.
Yeah. Yeah, she is played as that support jungle at that point.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Cool. What cheese are you combining it with?
What have we not done? What can we do? What about
I don't know if we've done queso.
It's not queso though. It's definitely not a queso.
No.
What if we do like we've done string cheese, haven't we? We've done canned cheese.
That was your last one.
Was it
string cheese is probably your last one.
Have we done cheese whiz yet?
Cheese whiz?
Like
probably
Canadian cheese whiz? Have you seen Canadian cheese whiz? In the jar?
I think you've
jarred,
showed it, yeah.
Yeah, cheese spread. Yeah, we'll do Canadian cheese, like cheese whiz spread.
Gross.
Because it's fucking disgusting. It's an abomination.
This does not sound
I feel
good
like the
at all.
pick's better than the cheese, though. So that's a start.
Yeah, for sure. LCS. Ooh, Doublelift and Caps were the NA and EU MVPs.
Hmm.
To the surprise of, I think, absolutely no one. And then Team Liquid 3. Did they 3-0 Cloud9? I thought they 3-1.
Did they? I don't. Oh, what game did they win?
3-1.
I don't remember. I
I think Cloud9 won game 1.
Maybe that's what I'm not remembering. Let me look it up just to make sure. I only watched the last 2 games, I think, but
Okay.
I know Fnatic 3-1 Schalke.
Yeah, Fnatic 3-1 Schalke, which is a shame because I'm like I really like Schalke at this point.
You just became like a Schalke fan over the last like 2 weeks, my friend.
They're so entertaining like to watch.
Fuck, I went to EU. NA.
Oh, that's not
standings. Schedule. Finals. Why does it not tell me right here? They 3-0'd them, yeah.
They 3-0'd?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I
God.
kind of know what I'm talking about.
No,
Because in game 2 they subbed in the Swole boys, and then in game 3 they subbed out Swole Glue for Jensen.
Oh shit. That felt like game 4 for some reason.
Yeah.
Cool. And then we have the Gauntlet going on right now. Do we want to? We'll do the entirety of Gauntlet next week.
Yeah, because it's kind of spoilers who won EU today, and I haven't even. Does NA start today or does it start tomorrow?
NA, I think, is going on right now, if I'm not mistaken. I was watching it earlier.
They must already finish then, because it's a rebroadcast of EU.
Oh yeah, they must.
Oh yeah,
finished.
they just finished. Yeah.
Okay, so then probably pretty sure who won based on that. But...
Yeah. This was a 3-0. We'll talk about it next week though, when they all finish. So.
Yeah. Cool. And then takes us into mail fight. We got 3 emails. Aiden, if you could so kindly read the second one when we get there.
Will do.
To take the place of Colton. The first one is from Victor. He said, "Hello again, Leaguecast. Did you guys know that the average age of a League player is 26? Recently, I was watching a streamer playing with a custom skin that I thought was pretty raunchy yet hilarious. The skin was Star Guardian Urgot, and that got me thinking, if offensiveness was not a limit, which custom skins would you like to see released by Riot? Here, I leave some examples. I may not read all of these.
Yeah. That's a yikes.
But Drag Queen Alawi, Gay Pride Parade Gragas, Dominatrix Annie. I probably shouldn't have read that one. Catholic Priest Karthus, Registered Sex Offender Tom Kench. Yeah, just some ideas. I understand if you guys don't want to read this one on air. Fuck it, dude. We just want to read all of the ideas.
We just read 2 of them. The yikes and the yikes times 2. The yikes times 2 isn't bad.
No, I didn't read this one.
Oh, really? I didn't see that one. Yeah, that one's not the worst. This is the one that I'm like, oh, this is funny, and then here I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, that's the. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah. Thanks, Victor.
Email 2. Yeah, fuck Nami from Nick.
That's all it said.
Not from this Nick though. So.
No, it's from another Nick that emailed in agreeing with me.
No one fucking hates Nami as much as you, and you know that now.
I'm just saying, I feel like there was a practice game where we played against the Nami, and maybe you guys smashed her, but I feel like there was a little hatred going on in laning phase.
Yeah.
Last one is from Drazlik, and he said, "Hey guys, I've been listening to this podcast for a while, but never sent in a roundtable question or answer, or an email before, but I've always been tempted to, and then I just forget or get lazy, so I'm finally doing it. First, I wanted to say thanks for doing these, as I enjoy them a lot, and they make my Thursday work days a little less lame, but at the same time, sometimes I look like a fucking... Oh, sometimes I look like I look like a fuck, trying not to burst out laughing in my half cubicle thingy. Ooh, joke's on you, friend. Now it's going to be your Mondays that are less lame. I was originally going to put my answer for the roundtable question in Discord, but it didn't seem like it had anything for this week's question, so I'm doing it here. I think Brand would be one of the worst champs if Friendly Fire was a thing. Obviously, he does tons of AoE damage, but I just think after your whole team goes in for a fight and you pop that ult off and everyone just gets to wonder who the bounce is going to fuck, your own team or your own team, because it's going to be your own team. Really, though, any of those RNG bounces would suck for friendly fire. I can only imagine how fights would go tits up if Fiddle Crow hit one enemy and then only bounce to friendlies. I'm going to say we've had 2 brand answers so far, right? Not one of them has mentioned his passive, which I think would fuck your team even harder.
Or just start spreading everywhere. Because, like, oh my god. You could proc it on the enemy, then it would hit your teammates. Oh my.
Yep, and then one of them would go off and then would proc 2, which would proc 2 more.
Yeah.
I know this. I know it was a couple weeks past now, but Nick mentioned that he got Martha. In Fate Grand Order during the summer event. So congrats. The gacha is a cruel mistress, so that's good. You were able to get someone you wanted. I used all my Saint Quartz last year trying to get Nero, but got pretty much everything except Nero. This time I was able to get Martha too, along with Kiyohime Lancer and Tamamo Lancer, as I had saved up a metric fuck load of Saint Quartz and summon tickets over the past 6 months. So even if no one else cares about hearing about your Fate Grand Order, I care, damn it. It's the only phone game I play. It combines some of my favorite things. It's vaguely historical, it's weeb garbage, and it's got gambling. No, I don't have a problem, but only 2 other people I know play it, are very on and off again players, so I don't really get to hear much about other people playing. Sorry if this is long. Thanks again, and keep up the good-ish work, Drazlik. Thanks for the email, dude. I've been enjoying Fate Grand Order. I still haven't lost my streak, even though yesterday was a little worrisome. We had a 21-hour maintenance, so yikes.
They wouldn't fuck you like that, though, right?
You think, but it's a Japanese company exporting a product to North America, and I've heard that Japanese companies fucking hate NA customers.
I mean, that's how it worked for Kingdom Hearts Unchained for a while, but now it's almost better to play on. Before it was if you're an NA customer, everyone just played on the Japanese version of the game because you just get more free shit. All the deals are better. It cost less. You know what I mean? But now everything's almost parity, if not better, for NA for that. So
okay, nice. Yeah, we actually got pretty good goodies as a result of that extended maintenance, so
that's good.
That was pretty nice. But we've gotten shafted over certain banners that we could roll for, and some free currency to roll on them over the past year. So yeah, if you want to email in again, Drazlik, hit me up with your friend code and I'll add you, because I'm constantly looking for people who actually log into the game. So yeah, but that's fun. But that'll do it for episode 344. Thanks for listening. If you like us, you can check out our website, leakcastpodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at Leakcast, at LeakcastFrost. Our Facebook is Leakcast Podcast. TeamSpeak, ts.leakcastpodcast.com. Discord is on our website, or you can message one of us for it. Send an email. Do pretty much anything, and we'll get that back to you. Send us emails, mail at leakcastpodcast.com. Twitch streams, twitch.tv/bluebasket, twitch.tv/kinglardout. We may be practicing our teams, our fives team over the weekend, so stay in tune for that. And if you super like us, you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/leakcast. Thank you guys for listening to episode 344. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.